So annually, I do a retail audit around Black Friday and look at what retailers are doing to encourage people to come into store. And this year it was interesting because um, I found that it was pretty static, that a lot of the stuff, a lot of the quote unquote wow moments that they were trying to create had been used before. There was nothing really new and refreshing about it. As a matter of fact, I think last year there was more quote unquote wow moments where the retailers integrated technology to get people to really explore the retail space, the brick and mortar space, and figure out a way to take stuff that you might have found online in your phone or something like that, go into store. Target, for example, had a scavenger hunt that was really fun for kids and families to go take off through the stores and check things out. So the wow moments this year felt pretty static and maybe a lot bigger. I think a lot of retailers, Macy's, Target, those guys brought in a larger scale of things. So things just seemed to be inflated and blown up. But the basic theme was pretty much the same, whether it was large Christmas balls and snowflakes and things like that. It didn't seem to be as creative as historically I've seen retailers go, which was kind of depressing, but I can see that's probably a state in the market right now where they're really unsure what was going to happen.
There were lack of crowds, and everybody was talking about lack of crowds. So you could put that on one hand. But the other thing everybody's talking about is that in-store, people in stores, it was at a record high. So how could actually both of those things be true at the same time, right? If more people were in the malls than ever before on Black Friday or the last couple of years, and there weren't crowds like we expected, right? So there's probably two answers to that. One is that the distribution of people was way broader than what we usually see, right? And so usually what we see is, like George was talking about, those big events in the mall, right? The Santa in the middle of the court, the Nordstrom's cookies or piano, or drawing people into center locations, where I think today we're actually seeing a lot broader distribution of where people are shopping. I think you're seeing a lot more people at Walmart, a lot more people at Target, a lot more people just walking around the malls, as opposed to standing in line for something specific, which I think talks to the overall customer behavior shift that we're seeing, which is more deal focused and less specific products focused. And that's something that everybody's been talking about.
A lot of the stores have become distribution centers, local distribution centers for people that are buying online. And as a person, when you go into these brick and mortar stores, you might expect to see shelves full of product to try on or check different colors out, only to find that the shelves are empty because somebody online bought it out from under you. So it's not there. It's really fascinating. And these retailers are having to figure out a way to manage keeping stock on the shelf as well as back stock, because they are these little mini distribution centers for their brand.
The key reasons why people are making that shift are, online selection and easy returns. Both of those point to online shopping more than in-store shopping, right? So the reason why we're seeing more people shop at big box stores are also reasons why people want to purchase online, which shifts away from why I want to purchase in store. So they're probably going in store with the expectation of finding something that they can't find online. But when they're really ready to make a purchase, online is their primary destination. People are shopping more at their own whim and being less forced to shop the way that retailers want them to shop, which I think is a bigger trend in our society, that consumers have taken back more of the power. One of the other really big trends that I've been reading about is that November overall was lackluster, and the discounting in November up until Black Friday and Cyber Monday, or it was actually 5% less versus what they were seeing last year. And so I think that push and pull is that customers were waiting for those discounts. Retailers didn't want to provide those discounts because of some of the margin hit they were seeing. But as November came in weaker than expected, they really needed to pull out the discounts on Black Friday. And so that consumer demand really drove people into the stores. They were looking for those deals that they hadn't found throughout most of the month. And again, they were shopping with those deals in mind, looking specific store or looking for specific deals across different stores. And again, we're just seeing different shopping patterns than we've ever seen because a lot of these macro factors.
So the consumer's gotten super, super smart. And so the surprise for me was I thought that Cyber Monday would be, the same kind of like small growth that we saw from on a Black Friday or a Saturday or Sunday. We didn't see that. Cyber Monday knocked it out of the park. And I think that is reflective of the consumer is now knows that the best deal that a retailer or a brand is going to provide is on Cyber Monday. And so I think, now that we have so much more access to where we get inspirations, it's not just in the store. And the fact that consumers do follow their favorite, influencers, they really are getting their product recommendations from the social platforms. Then they're using Google to see where they can get that product, if there's a cheaper discount. I think the thing for me as I look at 2023 and advise our retailers and brands, what's going to make a difference? And I really think that our brands and retailers need to double down on personalization. I think the consumer really wants to know that you're talking to her or to him and that you understand me and what I want. And the technology is there for that. One of the smartest investments that people could make in 2023 is really looking at their investment in personalization and not just investing in the technology, but it's like, what are the use cases? How are you using this? Do you really understand your customer journey? And then if you double that with audience management, so you really understand who your audiences are and you segment it and, you understand what drives their decision making and where they're at in the shopping funnel, and that you then can personalize the message to the fact that they're still in consideration. They're not at that, at that lowest level where they're willing to buy. We're getting really smart about how do you matrix all that together?
Merge has a really, really great ability. We have an incredibly good ability to bring technology into the physical space and start integrating the online experience into brick and mortar and tighten up those straps between the two and start design. And we can design things that tie back and forth, which I think is really cool. Not many agencies have that capability. And I think working with our interior digital, people, as well as the brick and mortar folks like myself that design the physical aspects, there's a huge opportunity for us to bring to life the holiday season in a magical way that hasn't been done before.